So the company Insta360 has kindly sent me out some ND filters to test and review, and these ND filters are ND16. But just before I open the box, I will say it's not the original box that they come in, because Insta360 has kindly sent me out many items to test and review, and the ND16 was just put in this bag along with lots of other accessories. So let's open the box and have a look at the ND16 filters. Now these are the very first ND filters for a 360 camera, as the models below this X5 didn't have these, so these are going to come in really handy in future videos. As you can see, it looks like a space helmet. So now let's attach the ND16 to the X5 lenses. Now when applying any ND filter to any type of camera, try not to touch the lens when putting it on. But being as though these ND filters are shaped like a dome, it's going to be very difficult not to touch the edges there. That's why Insta360 also include a lens cleaning cloth. So once I've applied both ND filters, I'll be giving them a quick wipe. So just before you attach the ND filters to the X5's lens, if you can just see at the top there, we've got a little groove. You want to match that little groove up with a little indentation to the bottom right there, which is at 4 o'clock. So turn that round to 4 o'clock. It'll slot straight on top, and then twist it clockwise and it snaps into place just down at 6 o'clock there. As you can see, the two notches just right there. And then that's securely in place. And then we'll apply the same method to the other side. So once again, just make sure those two notches are down at 4 o'clock. And it pops straight on, and then twist it round clockwise, and then two notches are now down at 6 o'clock. And now both ND filters are securely attached to the X5. And then just like I said earlier, just make sure that you give these ND filters a good wipe with a cleaning cloth provided. That way you're going to get no fingerprints in your footage. Now the basic rule of thumb when applying ND filters is to double your shutter speed twice of your frame rate. Just for an example, I'll be filming in 5.7K 30 frames per second, so I'll be setting my shutter speed to 60 and then keep that ISO as low as possible, so set it to 100. But do keep in mind with the ISO, the higher the ND filter, you're going to have to just bump that up slightly. Now just at the bottom there you can see that we're in auto, so we need to change over to manual. And you can see there at the bottom we've got the shutter speed. Now I'm setting this to 1/60 because I'll be filming at 30 frames per second as I said earlier. Then we'll just slide across and there you'll see the ISO. Now that goes right from 100 right to 6400. But as a general rule of thumb, keep that as low as possible. And then when you're finished with your settings, just swipe left to right, and there on the screen you can see doing the top right hand corner. So now that I've set the basic settings with the X5 with the ND filters attached, let's get out and do some test footage. Here we go. Right, so now I'm going to slowly pan left. I've got the ND16 applied, and 5.7K 30 frames per second. So my shutter speed's double that, my shutter speed's set to 60, and my ISO's to 100. And that's what that looks like. And just so you can see what it looks like in manual mode without the ND filter, whilst it's recording, and now I'll put it back on. And once again, that's a lot more pleasing to the eye. And now I'll point it straight into the sun, which is really bright today. And then we'll slowly come back to where we are. And now I'm pointing the camera lens towards me. Again, all the same settings. So what do you think that looks like? It's difficult today because that sun's going in and out of clouds. So do keep an eye on that. But at the moment it's really bright and strong. And it's very windy today, so it's going to be a great internal audio test at the same time. Now I'm talking directly into the X5's internal camera. It's really windy, whipping all around me here, as you can probably see from the foliage. So this is a great onboard mic test. And do stay tuned to the channel, because at a later date I'm going to be doing an in-depth audio test with the internal microphones all around the X5. And I'm going to compare that with the Insta360 mic here. So stay tuned, that's coming soon. Now I'm going to take the ND16 off whilst it's filming in manual mode. As you can see, that's really good footage. Look like a ghost. And now I'll put it back on. And once again, that's a lot more pleasing to the eye. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today. And now that you've seen the ND filters on the X5, you can see that it really does make a difference when it's a really bright sunny day. So as always, do stay tuned to the channel, as there's going to be plenty more videos on the horizon. But for now, thanks for watching, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and bye for now.